Welcome back, class. So now we're going to be looking at part two. So continuing work idioms, but this time, the challenges are setbacks with work. And these idioms can apply to the outside world, of course. So we'll look at that as well. So, work failures. Okay, we know this one already, right? Back to the drawing board. What does it mean? It means to start over again because maybe the first time was not successful, right? You have plans, you have blueprints for maybe a new architect design, but the client doesn't like it. So you have to go back to the drawing board. Look behind me. I have a board here, right? So I plan my ideas, but sometimes they may not work. So I have to do it again, okay? Now let's continue. Catch 22. So before we talked about win-win situations, right? For success. Well, in life, it's not always, you know, happy and cheerful days and rainbows and blue skies. Some days we have, some difficult challenges. And this is one of them. Catch 22 means it's a lose lose situation. You're in a bad situation and there's no escape. No matter what path you take, it always leads to a negative outcome. So, I have a funny example that my friend told me about. His wife is pregnant and she's about to give birth. And so, when he asked his wife, "Are you hungry?" she feels self-conscious about her pregnancy, so she's like, no, like I feel fat, right? But then if he doesn't ask her, honey, what do you want to eat, then she gets angry and she's like, why aren't you taking care of me, right? So in this case, it could be a lose-lose situation. No one is happy in this outcome, right? Maybe for a company in this case, you in some cases, maybe the company has layoffs, so they cut back on employees, and your boss isn't happy because now he has less people, it's less staffed, so he has to do more work, more responsibilities. And then on your side, you lose your job. So in both cases, it's lose lose because now your boss doesn't have the support he needs and you are out of work, right? So that's a very challenging situation. Okay, slip through, and then you want to add a possessive adjective here, whether it's his, yours, my, her, ours, theirs. It means, think of like this, like grains of sand. When you go to the beach, you hold sand, it slips through your fingers, right? It means something got away from you, like something, an opportunity, an advantage, a good experience. For example, the job promotion may have slipped through your fingers because maybe you were out sick for a long time. Or, in life, maybe you wanted to ask someone out on a date, but then you waited too long and someone else asked him or her and it slipped through your fingers, right? That opportunity, that chance was lost. This is my favorite, Ron. Roll with the punches. I remember someone, one of my teachers said this to me. She said, sometimes in life you have to roll with the punches, and I never forgot it. At the time, a lot of bad things happened in my life, and I felt, very kind of sad about the situation. But she said, you keep your chin up and roll with the punches, meaning keep going. No matter what life throws at you, nothing can stop you. You are resilient. You keep pushing forward, right? So think about a boxer. A boxer gets hit a lot, punches, right? But they don't stop the fight, they keep moving forward. So even when things are difficult, you move forward, you adapt to your difficult situation. Whether that means you start a new job and you feel overwhelmed, right? You keep rolling with the punches. Maybe something bad happens to you at work. You forgot to submit an important report, and then your boss gets angry, and then you have a fight with your coworker, and one thing after another, bad things happen. But regardless, you keep a positive kind of mentality, and you have to keep pushing forward. So even though the virus has affected the job market, what choice do we have, right? But to keep rolling with the punches. Okay, next. Oh, come up short. Oh no, I like this baby meme. I think this summarizes this idea very, very well. So it means you failed to achieve something, and in some cases, it's by a small margin. So Maybe you were so close to passing that exam. You were going to pass. You wanted to pass with flying colors. But let's say you needed a 70% to pass your driver's license test, your citizenship test, your anything. And you got like 69%, right? You came up short just by a little bit. You missed it. You missed that cutoff, right? It can be a very frustrating situation, especially if you're interviewing and you're the last two candidates, and then you find out you didn't get the job, the other person did, right? You came up short just by a little. Oh, this one, I think more than ever, especially with what we're dealing with, this is very relevant in our lives right now. Spread, and then you want a possessive pronoun, yourself, his self. Or I'm sorry, more of a reflexive pronoun, I should say. Reflexive. Now, this means you're doing too much. You're juggling too many things at once, and you can't give your attention fully to one thing. So, let's say, for example, I have friends, students that are single parents, single mothers, or single fathers. They have three children. Maybe they're juggling two, three jobs to stay financially afloat. And then they're trying to go to school on top of that. And then they're trying to take their children to art classes, soccer practice, all of these. And I tell them, you're very ambitious, but you are spreading yourself too thin. You're doing too much and you will burn out. You will become too tired, right? My boyfriend always tells me this. He's like, stop working. You're spreading yourself too thin, right? But that's how sometimes we get ahead in life. But you also have to be, of course, mindful of that healthy balance, right? With work and your personal life to relax. Okay. Oh, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oh, meaning you're in a very difficult situation and it feels almost impossible to make a decision. So, for example, let's say I have something here for you, but let's talk about life. Let's say, you know, you're offered your dream job, something you've wanted and you've worked your whole career for 10, 15 years. But the job is in New York City. But your whole family is here, your whole network, everything, right? And your wife, your husband, your children, they don't want to move. They say, "No way. This is our home." Right? So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's like almost no, it's very difficult to make a decision. It's kind of like a lose lose situation, similar to a catch 22. You move to New York, you get your dream job, but your family's going to be miserable. But then you stay home, you stay in California, but then your mind will always wonder, what would that job be like, right? Stuck between a rock and a hard place, meaning you have to make a very, very difficult decision. Oh, throw in the towel. Again, I'm going to throw in this boxing picture because this idiom comes from sports. There's actually a lot of idioms related to sports, including baseball, and we'll talk about those terms as well later. Throw in the towel. As you can see, this boxer is laying down because he is finished. It is KO, knockout. So the coach throws in the towel, meaning, oh hey, my fighter gives up, no more, right? So, after trying to persuade my boss about changing his company policy, I decided to throw in the towel. He wasn't listening. It just wasn't worth it anymore, right? And sometimes in life, we have to know when to push forward and also know when to throw in the towel sometimes, right? Because maybe we're using too much of our time and our effort. Okay. Play with fire. Look at this. Like, he has his finger wag. He's like, don't do that, right? Play with fire. Right now, California, we have a lot of fires. It's not looking good. Fire, you think it's hot, it's dangerous. Don't go near it, right? So, for example, my friend tells me, Jim, he tells me, hey, Caroline, what do you think about the boss's daughter? Like Cindy. She's really cute, right? I'm like, you're playing with fire, Jim. Don't date her. The boss is not going to be happy, right? So think about that. You're playing with fire. It's not a good idea, right? Okay. Now, these idioms are of course, used in the work situation, and I'm currently using them to teach my class, but you can always find a creative way of using them outside in the real world too, right? Now, I want you to try your best to practice these idioms, and if you have any questions at all, let me know. Try when you're memorizing these, think of specific contexts or situations you can use these positive idioms for success and also the negative, the failures, because in life we have both, right? I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Happy studying, and I will see you all soon. Bye.